I like covering what's happening in the news media world, and one of the sort of more interesting stories of the last couple years has been Megyn Kelly, who started in media as a news reporter after working as an attorney. She then became a contributor on Fox News. She ultimately got her own program on Fox News. And then she had this very public spat with then candidate Donald Trump, where it was ultimately announced that she'd be leaving Fox News to develop programming for NBC News, which would include a weekly Sunday night program as well as a daytime talk show. And immediately it was obvious that this was very clearly big money for her. NBC News was sort of making a play on Megyn Kelly's name rather than her specific skill set or the demographic that she appeals to. And it was clear that these weren't really her key competencies or her sort of bread and butter when it comes to format. And NBC News bet a huge amount of money on her, right? 3-year, $69 million contract. Crazy money. But it has been a total unmitigated disaster, and it keeps getting worse. And back in October, we talked about it. I told you things weren't going well. Her nighttime interview show, they got Vladimir Putin, which was a big deal, but otherwise totally flopped. They made a huge deal out of their major blockbuster interview with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Not exactly the person you'd imagine a program with this budget and this amount of fanfare on corporate media would tout as like a major get as one of their first guests, Alex Jones. Her daytime show did okay for like a week, then lost 500,000 viewers within the end of that first week. And a lot of it was Megyn Kelly just didn't seem authentic in this format. And it has continued to get worse and worse since we talked about this in October. And there's a really interesting Wall Street Journal article about it. Now, let's remember, Wall Street Journal is owned by News Corporation. News Corporation owns Fox News. Could they be writing a negative article about Megyn Kelly because of sour grapes? It's possible, but they're making fact-based points. And the fact-based points are continued really low ratings on the daytime show, which have local NBC affiliates unhappy. Staffers on other NBC shows reportedly upset about how much money Megyn Kelly's show gets despite the horrible ratings. Hollywood agents reportedly are telling their clients not to even go on Megyn Kelly's show because of the low ratings and because of this really weird incident where Megyn Kelly interviewed Jane Fonda, not for very long, it was a short interview, and chose to ask Jane Fonda about plastic surgery, and it did not go well. And then the nighttime show, which I'm barely talking about it because it's been all but canceled. There's no weekly nighttime show anymore. It's an occasional special episode, like a primetime special type of thing. So was this a mistake for Megyn Kelly? I don't know. I mean, financially, not at all, right? $69 million for 3 years. That's great for her financially. The problem is that if she carries her worth on more than just ratings and on prestige, then arguably this is a big mistake. NBC seems to have really been the one that made the mistake here, right? NBC calculated that her personality justified this amount of money. And it seems that this is bigger than Megyn Kelly. It seems like personality doesn't drive corporate news shows to the tune of $69 million over 3 years, right? There's no question that the big personalities on corporate media do drive revenue, but is it to the point of $69 million for 3 years? Apparently not. And corporate news ratings in general have been down as there are more alternatives independently and on the internet. Some of Megyn Kelly's Fox News demographics, they don't really translate to daytime talk shows, right? Typically, the people that are watching the 9 p.m. partisan Fox News primetime show or 10 p.m., whatever time she was on, those are not the same people watching daytime talk and who would even potentially be in Megyn Kelly's audience. So this has not worked well for NBC. Megyn Kelly is going to be fine financially, but I'm curious about the future of this format, bigger picture. I'm also curious how much longer NBC is going to allow the daytime show to continue.
Right. I wonder what Megyn Kelly will do after this 3-year contract is up.
Yeah.
Will NBC re-sign her? Probably for less money if they do.
Yeah.
I don't think she can go back to Fox News, especially because there's probably bad blood there. She did write something negative about Roger Ailes, who allegedly
Well, he did actually. I mean, he
Yeah,
wasn't
he did.
just alleged. He was actually, there were payoffs, but of course he passed away. I don't think that there were ultimately any
Never
criminal proceedings there. Yes, but Roger Ailes, by all accounts, massive payoff to Gretchen Carlson and other women. I think she doesn't go back to Fox News for sure. I think it's possible that she gets shifted around in NBC News. She could maybe get reframed as sort of just a news reader. Maybe she becomes the next like half-hour news person on NBC News. But certainly for me, the most interesting thing has been whether or not she is a right-wing ideologue. The right-wing ideologue character that she played on Fox News does seem to have hurt her potential at these new programs. So total implosion of Megyn Kelly's new shows, both shows, in fact. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month. And every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.